Have you ever scrolled through social media, seen a video of an adorable monkey, hedgehog, or tiger cub, and found yourself wanting one of your own? Yeah, me too. There is just something about these animals that make us want to get involved, care for them, and have them in our lives. But the truth is that not all animals are cut out for domesticated life, and there is a dark side to exotic pet ownership that we will bring to light in today's episode. Hi, I'm Dr. Teresa Schumacher, and this is VETTED, where you'll find educational resources, inspirational stories, and science-backed information to help you navigate a healthier future for you, your pets, and the planet. Today we are headed to Agua Dulce, California, to meet with Stacy Gunderson and her amazing team of volunteers at Animal Tracks Rescue, one of Southern California's most popular exotic pet sanctuaries. Here we will find out what classifies as an exotic pet, where these animals come from, what kind of care they require in captivity, and why so many end up at rescue facilities, and alternatives to pet ownership for those that feel compelled to get up close and personal in a more humane, eco-friendly way. When I arrive, I find Stacy juggling the care of the animals with preparation for a tour that is about to start. 40 people from all walks of life are arriving at the facility to learn about exotic pets.
One second, did you say the guests are arriving?
As people gather in anticipation of the tour, Stacy reminds everyone that this is not a petting zoo, and if anyone came with hopes of getting cuddly with the animals here, they came to the wrong place. Here at Animal Tracks, visitors are offered an up-close and personal, yet entirely hands-off educational experience.
You're gonna watch monkeys frolic and play and have so much fun in a safe way for everyone.
So what exactly is an exotic pet? The term refers to any species kept in captivity that is not thoroughly domesticated or considered a farm animal. Examples include everything from parrots and hedgehogs to big cats, monkeys, and even bears. Millions of exotic animals are kept in captivity in homes across the United States, and the trend grows as social media and online buying options make these animals more accessible and more desirable to the general public. Stacy makes it clear that although these animals are kept in captivity, they are still wild, and therefore should not be expected to behave like our domestic dogs and cats.
I get the question all the time, is it as smart as a dog? A dog is the dumbest animal you'll meet here today, and I don't mean that against dogs. Dogs are great. But dogs surrender the ability for you to think for them. At least most of them do. And an exotic animal does not. And so we get very confused over what is friendly and what is not friendly. And what is not friendly winds up suffering.
Completely natural behaviors are often misconstrued as aggressive or inappropriate, when in fact the animals are just following their natural instincts. A wolf hybrid's prey drive may make it more unpredictable around children or small dogs and cats. A fennec fox's high energy level can lead to destruction in the home. A monkey may misinterpret a person's body language and therefore respond with unexpected aggression. So if they haven't spent the last few thousand years hanging out with humans, eating table scraps, and sleeping by a warm fire like those beloved dogs of ours, where do these animals come from? While there are certainly reputable breeders out there, the sad truth is that a large number of exotic pets for sale come from a much darker source. Wildlife trafficking is a multi-billion-dollar business comprising the fourth largest illegal trade after narcotics, human trafficking, and counterfeit products. Each year, tens of millions of wild animals are captured and either sold as exotic pets or killed for products such as leather or fur. There are laws against trafficking, but they are frequently evaded. Enclosures are intentionally mislabeled, documents falsified, and wild-caught animals are passed off as captive bred. Many animals are so young that they are pried from their mother's arms. They are smuggled across borders, transported under horrific conditions, and many do not survive the journey. Those that do survive must endure a lifetime of captivity in strange foreign environments. When these animals are taken from the wild, there are also a negative impact on the ecosystems that they leave behind. Monkeys in the rainforest, for example, play a role in the health of the forest by spreading plant seeds in their droppings. If there are no monkeys, the seeds are not dispersed properly, and the whole forest suffers. Once in captivity, animals may escape or be released into the wild, causing disturbances in local ecosystems, like the hippos in Colombia that once belonged to Pablo Escobar, or the Bermuda pythons now roaming wild throughout Florida. In the United States, laws dictating the legality of exotic pets vary by state. In California, it's illegal to own ferrets, monkeys, or hedgehogs, whereas in the neighboring state of Nevada, these animals are permitted. Many of these state restrictions were put in place due to concern for disease spread and threat to local ecosystems. Yet the laws are frequently ignored.
People go to Vegas, have a few beers, and come home with a monkey or a kangaroo or a marmoset or a hedgehog. It normally comes to my house.
Many of the animals here at Animal Tracks were confiscated by authorities after crossing state lines, while others were neglected or surrendered to local shelters. The large number of exotic pets that find themselves in need of rehoming due to behavioral or untreated medical issues is a sad testament to the fact that people often don't understand the time, energy, and resources required for their care. Stacy tells me that common themes she sees with exotic pets are inappropriate diet, lack of environmental stimuli, and poor husbandry.
So I have a monkey here that was loved by his people, but fed like a child. Chicken nuggets, steak, milk, Go-Gurts, fruit snacks, and literally came so obese we thought he had a stomach tumor. I need the trail mix. Do you see trail mix anywhere? We're gonna get a little bit of carrot and beets and yams.
I wish my kitchen looked like this.
We're gonna get a little bit of pineapple.
Every species is different in terms of dietary, environmental, and medical needs, and it's important to consult with a veterinarian to establish appropriate care for these animals. But finding a veterinarian that is up for the job can be challenging. Veterinarians must be highly trained and appropriately equipped to treat each individual species. Not a lot of vets are trained in care for these exotic pets.
You're not willing to switch fields, are you?
I'm considering it, you know. Sometimes, even deciding when an animal needs medical care can be difficult. In the wild, a weak or injured animal is at higher risk for being killed by a predator or overcome in a social hierarchy. Therefore, it's common for them to mask symptoms and pretend to be okay when they are not. Bella, a kangaroo here at Animal Tracks, suffered a life-threatening episode of anemia where her red blood cell count dropped dangerously low, but her symptoms were so vague that they went unnoticed until she was critically ill.
She started to become a little lethargic, and she started laying her heat box longer and didn't eat as well, and we thought, we should take her into the vet. We really thought it was a checkup. They said if we don't get her a blood transfusion today, she's not going home. So we happened to have a second kangaroo, and he was a match, and we brought him in a minivan driving down the freeway as fast as we could.
During this visit, Bella was also diagnosed with a very enlarged heart, placing her at risk for complications such as heart failure, arrhythmias, and sudden death. Although there is no cure for this disease, there are treatments that can help. That is, if the patient is willing to cooperate.
She won't take heart medicine. So basically what we've been treating it with is avocado. An avocado a day keeps the doctor away. She's now 16, and she seems to have her second wind. And of course she's got a hot boyfriend,
yes,
so
I saw it.
That's good for the soul.
If the general public knew the truth about the exotic pet trade and what exotic pet ownership actually entails, perhaps they would think twice before buying these animals. That is why Stacy works so hard to educate the visitors here at Animal Tracks.
We touch a heart, one heart at a time. So as long as you're making forward momentum, even if you just get that one person, you did something good today.
The work here at Animal Tracks is never done, with so many animals to help and people to educate. But Stacy is fortunate to have a stellar group of volunteers to help shoulder the burden.
I have 65 beautiful volunteers who come from all walks of life. I couldn't live without them, but they don't come with an animal education normally. And so we're almost a school here where we train from the ground up.
Bob the Birdman keeps his Spotify playlist tailored to the likes of his musically inclined parrot friends. Allison, assistant director, shares a special bond with the fennec foxes and Tara, the elderly capuchin monkey.
You got it? Did you get it? I'm gonna get her.
Mina, an underwater cinematographer, has a soft spot in her heart for the wolf hybrids, and the feeling is clearly mutual. Josh, with his calm, unflappable demeanor, is the perfect candidate for handling the younger, feistier monkeys.
He is phenomenal in the fact that he is willing to take the bite, because we do, and he's willing to outthink it so the monkey isn't put on a leash and beaten.
In a world that sometimes seems saturated with despair and weighed down with bad news, Stacy and her team are like a breath of fresh air.
Show them what a man you are. Oh, there it is. I love Sarah McLachlan, but I turn the second I hear the music, I have to turn the channel because I can't live in that darkness. Everybody here is attracted to that sunshine.
Stacy considers herself an earth mother to all of the animals here at her sanctuary. But if there is one that touches her heart the most, it is Chrissy, the baboon.
So I have a baboon here who's my soul sister. She and I conquer the world together, and she is my earth mother, and so she just wants to be a mama. She doesn't want to be touched and petted all day. She wants to nurture.
When we see the power of the human-animal bond, it's hard not to want it for ourselves. We as human beings are an integral part of this planet, and it's natural to feel a deep connection to the creatures we share our home with. But what if our love and admiration for these animals is actually causing more harm than good? There is a fine balance between feeling compassion and desiring ownership. We must learn to appreciate these animals as much from a distance without interfering with their natural lives. If you feel compelled to interact with these animals in an ethical way, consider reaching out to a local sanctuary and volunteering. If you like to travel, consider supporting ecotourism. There are plenty of opportunities to see these incredible creatures in their natural habitats. And when you visit countries and show interest in local wildlife, you're directly supporting conservation efforts and showing governments that there is value in keeping animals wild and free. And if you love science and animals, consider a career in veterinary medicine. The world needs more veterinarians and veterinary technicians who are trained in the care of these exotic species. It's certainly something I'm considering, as Stacy and I part ways and she once again only half-jokingly offers me a job. Dr. Schumacher, exotic vet, certainly something to consider. Stay tuned for the next episode of Vetted, where I sit down with travel writer and conservation advocate Gina Truman to discuss ecotourism. We will discuss the many benefits of ecotourism, how to avoid greenwashing and other scams, and how to maximize your own travel experiences and help save the planet at the same time. I hope you've enjoyed this episode. Drop a comment below and let us know what you think. And don't forget to like and subscribe to the Aluna One Health YouTube channel for more content related to your health, your pet's health, and the health of the planet we call home. I'm Dr. Schumacher, and I'll see you next time.
And we need to tell stories, because who doesn't love a good story?
That's where it all comes from. People want to hear stories.
In my story, I go to Costa Rica and I find Tarzan and I marry him, and I have monkeys for children.
That sounds like a great life.
You want to hear more, right?
Yeah, I do. Tell me more.